At Liberty Heights Academy, an elite school where privilege often silences empathy, a shocking scene unfolded that would forever change at Halls. Known for his domineering attitude, school bully Jason Blackwell had always gotten his way, until he targeted Maya Harris. In one unexpected moment, when he shoved her with the assumption that she'd shrink away, Maya responded with a decisive, game-changing move that silenced not just him, but an entire crowd. This isn't merely a story of conflict. It's a powerful reminder that courage and resilience can turn any situation around. Maya's bold stand transformed humiliation into honor, igniting a spark of respect and empowerment throughout the school. Welcome to Acts of Kindness Stories, where we share inspiring moments that remind us all, standing up for what is right creates a ripple effect of positive change. At the sound of murmurs echoing through the polished hallways of Liberty Heights Academy, tension crackled in the air like static before a storm. Maya Harris, known among her peers as a quiet yet resilient force, navigated the corridors with determination, even when an unforeseen challenge emerged. It wasn't just another day in the school for her. It was a turning point. Jason Blackwell, a towering figure built like a linebacker and notorious for his arrogance, had made it his daily mission to enforce his unspoken rule, power over those he deemed inferior. Today, however, fate had set the stage for a dramatic reversal of roles. As Maya rounded the corner between classes, her mind was focused on the academic challenges that lay ahead, a calculus quiz and a demanding AP class. In that fleeting moment, she did not expect the looming threat that would change everything. Jason appeared in the middle of the corridor like a character from a scripted drama, blocking her path with an air of entitlement. His sneering remark, dripping with condescension, pierced the otherwise calm atmosphere. "Looks like someone's lost," he taunted, his voice resonating with the confidence of someone who believed the school's hierarchy was his to command. Students slowed their steps, their eyes locked on the unfolding confrontation. Yet, as is often the case in moments of conflict, silence spoke louder than words. Maya's response was immediate, a mixture of controlled resolve and quiet defiance. Despite years of enduring his relentless taunts, she had reached her limit. With a measured exhale that seemed to momentarily hush the restless murmurs of the onlookers, she met his gaze steadily. "I don't have time for your garbage today," she declared, her tone calm but carrying an unmistakable edge. That single sentence reverberated through the corridor, like a challenge issued to the established order. Jason's smirk broadened, fueled by years of unchecked authority and the privilege that had always shielded him. Leaning casually against a row of lockers, he scoffed at her audacity. "You think you can talk back? You don't belong here," he sneered, stepping closer in an effort to intimidate her. The crowd, previously a silent witness, began to lean in, their curiosity piqued by the audacity of the exchange. Phones were raised discreetly, recording every nuance of this rare moment of resistance. In a split second that redefined the dynamics of power in that institution, Maya's posture shifted from quiet compliance to fierce determination. With a sudden fluid motion that defied expectations, she dropped her backpack to one side and closed the distance between them. Before Jason could process her swift maneuver, Maya grabbed his arm, twisted her body with precise strength, and flipped him over her shoulder. The impact of his fall was marked by a loud, resonant thud that silenced the entire hallway, a moment that shattered his carefully constructed reputation. As Jason lay on the floor, dazed and struggling to rise, the atmosphere transformed. Laughter, cheers, and high fives erupted among the students, a spontaneous outpouring of joy and vindication. Yet amidst the noise, Maya's expression remained composed, a stark reminder that her actions were not fueled by anger alone, but by the desire for respect and fairness. Her decisive act wasn't just a personal triumph. It was an emphatic statement against the abuse of power. The next morning, Liberty Heights buzzed with conversations about the incident. Video clips of Maya's unexpected counterattack had gone viral on social media, spreading quickly beyond the school's boundaries. In group chats on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, the narrative was clear. A student once overlooked had reclaimed her dignity in the most dramatic fashion. The headlines shared widely carried a tone that was both celebratory and transformative. "Elite kid gets defeated by fearless Maya" became a recurring caption, a phrase that marked not just an act of physical resistance, but the beginning of a broader dialogue about respect and equality in a place long ruled by unchallenged arrogance. In the days that followed, the ripple effects of that moment were evident. Students who had once hesitated to speak up now found themselves emboldened by Maya's example. Conversations in hallways and classrooms shifted from whispers of fear to open discussions about fairness and the importance of standing up for oneself. Many who had long been intimidated by Jason's domineering presence now saw him in a new light, a cautionary tale of what happens when unchecked power meets genuine courage. Yet for Jason, the fallout was personal and profound. His carefully curated image as the school's unassailable leader was in tatters. Instead of admiration, he now faced scorn and ridicule, his actions dissected and discussed in every corner of the campus. The realization that his authority had been undermined was a bitter pill to swallow. He found himself isolated, his usual entourage of followers noticeably subdued in the wake of his humiliation. Even his closest allies seemed uncertain, their loyalty tested by the undeniable strength Maya had exhibited. In the midst of this upheaval, Maya continued her daily routine with an air of quiet confidence. As questions poured in from classmates eager to know how she had acquired such skill and resolve, she responded not with boasting, but with measured humility. "I learned what it means to stand up for myself," she said, her tone reflecting both gratitude and the gravity of the lesson. Her journey from a background figure to a symbol of empowerment resonated deeply with many, creating an atmosphere of genuine reflection about what it means to be strong. Throughout the ensuing days, the conversations at Liberty Heights shifted toward a more positive direction. Teachers began to notice changes in the student dynamic, a newfound willingness to challenge unjust authority, a growing sense of camaraderie among those who had once felt powerless. Maya's act had ignited more than just a viral moment. It sparked a cultural shift within the school. The incident became a catalyst for discussions about respect, integrity, and the importance of nurturing an environment where every student felt valued regardless of their background. Maya's transformation was not just physical, but symbolic. She demonstrated that true strength lies not in the ability to dominate others, but in the courage to stand up when it matters most. Her actions underscored an essential truth, that every individual, regardless of their social standing, has the right to dignity and respect. In an environment that had long been defined by privilege and an unchallenged hierarchy, Maya's decisive move brought a breath of fresh air, a message that the old order was no longer acceptable. The shift in the school's atmosphere was palpable. In classrooms, the discussions that once centered solely on grades and extracurricular achievements began to include conversations about personal growth and mutual respect. In hallways, the once oppressive silence now carried whispers of hope and determination. Students were inspired to take charge of their narratives, to believe in the possibility of change even when the odds seemed stacked against them. Even as Jason wrestled with the consequences of his actions, a subtle but undeniable transformation was occurring among his former supporters. Their reluctance to question authority gave way to a newfound courage, a willingness to challenge the status quo. In the aftermath of the incident, Liberty Heights Academy started to embrace values that prioritized fairness over dominance, inclusion over exclusion, and integrity over entitlement. This unfolding story serves as a potent reminder that change often begins with one individual's willingness to take a stand. The impact of Maya's courageous act rippled far beyond the immediate confrontation. It redefined the very essence of what it meant to be part of a community that, at its best, supports and uplifts every member. By refusing to be cowed by the weight of tradition and unearned privilege, Maya not only reclaimed her own dignity, but also set a precedent for others to follow. In the corridors of Liberty Heights, where privilege once reigned supreme, a new era was dawning. Each day became an opportunity for students to learn that respect is earned through actions rooted in integrity and compassion. As the campus culture began to shift, more students found the strength to express themselves and stand up against injustice, inspired by the example set by one determined individual. As the final bell rang on that fateful day, Liberty Heights Academy was forever transformed. The corridors, once a stage for the unchallenged rule of arrogance, now resonated with newfound hope and unity. The events that had unfolded were more than just a confrontation. They were a powerful lesson in courage, respect, and the strength that lies within every individual. In the aftermath, Maya's bold act was not merely a moment of personal triumph. It ignited a ripple effect that challenged the very foundation of the school's culture. Teachers and students alike began to see that true leadership isn't about dominance or fear. It's about standing firm in the face of injustice and inspiring others to do the same. The legacy of that day was clear. One act of kindness and bravery can reshape an entire community. The transformation at Liberty Heights was palpable. Classrooms buzzed with discussions about fairness and mutual respect, and every corner of the campus seemed to echo with the promise of a more inclusive future. Students who once hesitated to speak out found the courage to share their own stories, creating an environment where every voice was valued and every act of kindness was celebrated. Even those who had once lived in the shadow of intimidation now had the strength to redefine their narratives. This powerful shift reminds us that every challenge carries the seed of change. Maya's example showed that standing up for oneself is not just about confronting a bully, it's about affirming the right of every person to be treated with dignity. Her journey teaches us that resilience, when combined with compassion, can spark a movement toward a better, more equitable community. If Maya's story moved you and reaffirmed your belief in the transformative power of courage and kindness, let it be a call to action. We invite you to join us in spreading this message far and wide. Like this video, share it with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters in building a community where respect and empathy are at the forefront. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Acts of Kindness Stories. Help us reach 10,000 subscribers so that together we can continue to inspire change, one story at a time.